Wanted to shoot into a super quick rundown on how my little tractors are set up. They're all John Deere 4066Rs with Normand 82-inch hybrid blowers on them. They're set up pretty much all identically. There's a couple slight variations. I got a couple more units inside there, and we won't look at those because they're pretty much the same thing. Really, the only difference you'll see is, like, if you look at number 6 here, this is the first one I ever bought, and so it has a different set of tires on it. Same idea, snow tires. These are just a little wider. These are Midas instead of Nokian, and there's a couple like this one here where the front rims are different, so it has a wider stance to it. I actually think it's kind of cool personally. I wish they all had that. I think it looks a little meaner, but whatever. They don't typically come from the factory like that, so I don't worry about it too much. But why don't we take a look at one of my brand new tractors here. Why not number 10? Or actually, I think I got a key. We'll look at number 9. So starting from the top, like I said, it's a 4066R, Normand 82-inch hybrid, grain obviously. And it has the snow package, which I don't entirely remember what that all comes with, but I believe it's, you know, the cab lighting, the beacon light, the mirrors on the cab, the snow tires, of course, these are Nokians. We personally do 8 weights on the front, have found that to be a good balance. I mean, more than that is unnecessary, and they're actually pretty expensive, these suitcase weights. So found 8 to be a good compromise. And we also load the front tires with windshield washer fluid. We found that, you know, that gets a really nice balance and good traction for these tractors. If you look here, this is a custom fender setup that we had built. So these are John Deere OEM plastic pieces for the actual fender, but the bracket and everything is custom built by my friend Josh DeVries of DeVries Custom Welding. We actually copied the design from a dealership in Ottawa, and, you know, I bought a couple from them and then we just replicated them. So if you're looking for a set of those, I could send you where you can buy them officially, or I mean, Josh has the you know, specs on them now, so I'm sure he could whip some up fairly easily. He also made this fuel can mount for us here. This is a pretty recent addition. You can see it just bolts in down there onto the loader bracket. These tractors are never gonna have a loader as far as, you know, I can tell. So just an easy bolt in there. Handy to have an extra few liters of fuel. Not that you'll use it typically, but, you know, during a long run with wet, heavy snow, it certainly doesn't hurt. Obviously, tractors are branded with, you know, logo on there, stripped down logo, clean look, whatever. Now we'll take a look around this side. We've got a Toolbox. That is also a custom mount that Josh made for us. You can see there, John Deere Toolbox, but he made that bracket. Also bolted into where the loader mount would be. Fender's the same on this side. I guess we might as well go around the whole outside first. So these are the John Deere OEM rear fender extensions. Excuse the noise there. Sometimes I wish they were a little wider because you do still get some overspray on the cab, as you can see. However, I was talking to a dealer about it who used to do, you know, custom wider ones, and they're saying they were having a lot of issues with snow getting built up and cracking them. So, you know what? For the cost of these, I'm not too upset with them. You know, a little less overspray on the windows would be nice, but typically it doesn't, you know, impede our vision too bad, so not too worried about that. Coming around the back here, that's another thing. Some of these have the wipers on this side, some of them have them on the other side. I don't know why John Deere's flip back and forth. It's pretty silly. Ideally, you want them on the other side, obviously, because you're always looking over your right-hand shoulder, but that's just a minor detail. Looking at the back here, really, oh, another thing, the accumulator. Where's the accumulator on this thing? Hidden here somewhere. Okay. Interesting. Can't find the accumulator on this one, but there is a hydraulic accumulator, and what that does is, you know, it's like a reservoir that the oil can overflow into. So when the blower, you know, you go over a bump, the blower's gonna lift up and come down. And without an accumulator, you're gonna have a really bouncy ride. The blower's gonna be banging, slamming down. And with that, it just cushions that. So, you know, you hit a bump, the blower goes up, and then slowly drops down. On the little tractors, important. We used to break these 3-point hitch links on these tractors, no longer. On a big tractor, honestly, I don't think it's super important, but that is that. Little Amazon shovel action we have here. These are super handy for unclogging the blowers. Used to have these little plastic ones, but find they'd break, and you know, it's harder to chip away at heavy wet snow. These are perfect. I believe they're technically a tree spade shovel. So yeah, those are pretty handy. Back to the blower here, you know, we got our decals on it, whatever. Oh, these are some little Amazon plow marker things. Just help to mark the edge of the blower, so you know where your corners are at all times. Just a, you know, little thing we found that's nice. I mean, yeah, the more visible the corners of your machine are, the better, and you know, the less garage doors and such that get hit. So moving on to the inside of the unit here. We have, obviously you need a radio with Bluetooth. Sometimes they cheap out, and when you, even with the snow package, you buy these things, they don't have a radio. Pretty stupid if you ask me. I mean, yeah, it's like $400 for a radio upgrade. Just include it, John Deere. Like, what are you thinking, guys? This is ridiculous. Like, I'm buying a $70,000 tractor and you can't give me a radio. Like, it's just a joke. But anyway, obviously we have the radio. I won't run down the factory stuff too much, but obviously we have a spinner knob here. I think that's an Amazon special, so that's good. We have our tablet mount here bolted in on the post there, so that's for FoloSoft. We take off the loader handle thing there because it just gets in the way and it's annoying. On some of the other ones, we have a nice little rubber piece that slides over that just to kind of cap it off. Should do that on this new one, but obviously we haven't gotten around to it yet. This handle, factory, is an absolute disgrace from John Deere. I lose it every time I have to use that thing. We don't have any with it anymore, obviously, because it's so terrible, but it's just this tiny little knob and it digs into your hand. It's just brutal. So this is actually some sort of a, it's like a motorcycle, I don't even know what it is, honestly, but found it on Amazon. Threads onto where the crappy little ball thing used to be. We bend it over a little bit, much more ergonomic, much more comfortable when you're going up, you know, doing 200 driveways a night, and you know, up down, it just digs into your hand. The factory one, it's just trash, so avoid that. Another thing, make this little bracket for our two-way radios so all the guys can talk to each other. Just kind of mounts on there, and you know, the whatever, the, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, the walkie-talkie speaker thing that you talk into, that clips on here. That is pretty much the rundown for you. Here recently on this model year, they changed from a switch that you pull up and push in to this one where it's kind of like a, I hate this thing, honestly. So you have to push it down for real to get the PTO on, and sometimes you'll just kind of push it and it won't actually go on. Once you're used to it, it's not the end of the world, but the old ones were so much nicer. You just pop it up and you slam it down. That's my preference, but you know, whatever, safety first. They always got to change everything for no reason. That is pretty much it from what I can see. Charger in there. Can't think of anything else. So there you have it, guys. This is, in my opinion, the ideal little tractor for snow removal.